So in a toxic faith community, one of the things that we find is a minister who says, I have these special powers and I can cast out demons. And so you see a lot of people in that church thinking they have demons because they're talking about it so much. When in reality, if they went to a different church, it wouldn't even be considered. From New Life Ministries, this is Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn. I'm Stephen Arterburn. And Going Deeper is all about taking the tough issues, the hard issues of life, looking a little bit deeper inside so that we can gain some insight into our lives. Hi, Steve Arterburn here. Thanks for joining me for Going Deeper. We are going deeper into some beliefs that could be a problem. I wrote about them several years ago in this book, Toxic Faith. It is still in print, and you could get a copy at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. As I mentioned before, people have called me over the years saying, I didn't know what we were into, didn't understand it, and once I read Toxic Faith, we left that church. Or once I read Toxic Faith, I knew how to help the elders or the deacons, the board I was on, to steer that thing in the right direction. I really do think it could help you if you struggle in the area of faith. I want to take a break from giving you the lists that we've been going through to talk about something that always comes up when we talk about toxic faith, and that is the issue of demons. We had a phone call the other day where a man felt like this woman was demon possessed, and she thought she was demon possessed. It was something beyond anything he had ever seen. And so the question comes up, is there such a thing, and how do you know? Well, I do believe there's evil in this world, and I believe that Satan is real. When I read the Bible and Jesus has an encounter with Satan, and he's tempted by Satan directly, you know, for me, that's all I need to know. So there's not just evil because there's good. I think there is a prince of light, the ultimate counterfeit, and I believe that he has helpers, and those helpers are demons. Just like God has angels, I believe Satan has demons. When I read in the scripture that demons were not good for the pork industry because Jesus cast them out, or this demon out of a guy, it entered into a herd of swine and they ran off a hill and people were not happy. Hey, we needed those pigs. All right, so I believe when you look at scripture, there's evidence for demons in scripture, solid evidence. And we had a woman live with us at one point, and she thought she was demon possessed. And so here's what we said. All right, well, let's figure it out. You don't want to take medication for psychiatric problems. And so if you really believe this is a demon, then go get an exorcism. Go to this person who says he can cast out demons, and let's see what happens. So she went, cast out demon, the preacher did, and on Monday morning, she was the same. So she wanted to do it again. She did it again the next week, came back Monday morning, she's the same. All right, so what do you do when you've had the demon cast out, but it doesn't make any difference? Well, here's something I believe. I believe that a demon can influence a believer, but not possess them. You are God's, you are His child, and a demon might influence you, but not possess you. One of the things that was so sad about the person who thought they were demon possessed is that they had been horrifically abused as a child, sexually abused. A lot of times when a person is sexually abused and they haven't healed, then they think they're vulnerable to outside forces for the rest of their lives. And, you know, they're really not any more vulnerable than anybody else. So they feel like I can be a victim all over again. They live with that fear, and they're afraid that Satan is going to possess them. So we have to deal with that. But when we dealt with a guy who cared about somebody that thought they were demon possessed, and he thought there was a chance they might be demon possessed, we had to be realistic. And so here's the question. What kind of psychological help has she gotten? And so when it's, well, she went to see her general practitioner, well, that's not enough. Psychologist, that's not enough. If you think you're demon possessed, you need to be seeing a psychiatrist who can help you determine whether or not it's real demon possession, or perhaps it's a delusion, or an excuse, or an unconscious way of you dealing with something. And then secondly, the psychiatrist can prescribe the medication that it's either going to help you or it's not. And if it doesn't help you, then maybe there's demon possession. If it doesn't help you and he tries something else and that works, then obviously it was a psychiatric or psychological problem. So we have to rule things out. We can't just assume if I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm feeling obsessed or possessed that it's going to be a demon. No, I have to rule out certain things. And the only way I can rule things out is to be open to the fact that it could literally be anything. It could be a blood disorder. It could be a brain electrical issue disorder. It could be a brain chemistry disorder. It could be the result of a head trauma that I experienced earlier in life and just now the symptoms are coming about. So in a toxic faith community, one of the things that we find is a minister who says, I have these special powers and I can cast out demons. And so you see a lot of people in that church thinking they have demons because they're talking about it so much. When in reality, if they went to a different church, it wouldn't even be considered. So when you're dealing with someone who thinks they have a demon possession, you want to be sure that they have ruled out psychological, emotional, psychiatric problems, either physiologically caused or emotionally or mentally as a source. Then you're free to figure out whether or not it's truly demon possession. Most of the time, it is not. Well, we'll talk more about toxic faith, and I hope to see you for that next time right here on Going Deeper. Thank you for joining me for Going Deeper. I hope something I've said may have helped just a little bit. If you have a question you'd like me to answer or comment, just email me at stevesocial@newlife.com. I'll see you next time.
If you want to support Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn, be sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. And if you know someone who would benefit from this episode, be sure to share it with them. See you on the next Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn from New Life Ministries.